Good evening. Today we're going to be going over page 4 of your unit packet, and from unit 11 is talking about solving quadratic equations. Now, what I have done is I'm going to try to make life a little simpler for you. And what we're going to do is we're going to take all types of equations, or the quadratic equations, and they're going to all be solved by one method, which is graphing. The key will be for the equations to be equal to 0 in order to graph it. So if an equation or a quadratic equation is not equal to 0, we must rewrite it and get it equal to 0 in order for us to graph it. Now there's a couple of terms that I need for you to be familiar with. This is not in your notes packet, and I recommend that you add it to your notes packet somewhere in your page. There are 3 other names for the word solutions. There's roots, zeros, and x-intercepts. So anytime we're talking about solutions, the same thing goes for roots with zeros and x-intercepts. So there are 3 types of solutions that I need for you to understand. Anytime you graph a parabola, there's 3 different ways that you can see it. Number 1 is that you can see the parabola if it crosses at 2 different parts or 2 different points on your x-axis. What that means is that there are 2 solutions, or 2 roots, or 2 zeros, or just 2 x-intercepts. And they will be here and here. So in this case, we have 2 solutions with this parabola. Here in this parabola, notice that it only touches at one spot on your x-axis. So in this case, for this parabola, there's only one solution. And then lastly, if you notice, this parabola does not cross anywhere on your x-axis. So in that case, we have no solutions. So you need to be mindful that sometimes when you graph it, you might have no solutions, 1 solution, or 2 solutions. If you have a solution, whether it be 1 or 2, you must find it. And I'm going to show you how to do that on your calculator. Let's get to problem number 1 on page 4. It says x squared minus 6x plus 5 equals 0. Notice it's already equal to 0, so I don't have to worry about rewriting it. So turn your calculator on, go to y equals in your calculator, and type out x squared minus 6x plus 5. Once you do that, you can hit graph. Notice that your graph comes up. You have a minimum, and so we're going to, and notice that there's 2 solutions here. So in order to find the solutions, all I'm going to do is count. So from here to here is 1. And then 2, 3, 4, and 5. So my 2 solutions in this case is 1 and 5. Alright, you can write it in set notation, or you can write it as ordered pairs. Either way will work for me. So those are your solutions for number 1. Let's go to number 2. Notice number 2 is not written equals to 0. So because of that, I'm going to have to subtract 4 from both sides. Once I subtract 4 from both sides, this cancels out. And 4 minus 4, no, is 0. I rewrite this as x squared minus 10x minus 4. So I go to my calculator, go to y equals, I have x squared minus, I believe it was 10x. 10x. Where are you? And then minus 4. Make sure I got that right. Let's see. Yep, minus 10x minus 4. And I hit graph. Notice here that I have 1. It looks like I have a second solution, but it's far, far away. So I'm going to zoom out. I'm going to hit zoom, 3, enter. Notice it zooms out. And now I can get a better picture of my 2 solutions. Notice I have 2 solutions here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the first one by hitting second and trace. And I'm going to look for the zero. See the zero here, number 2? So I hit number 2. I'm going to go to the left side of that point, and then I'm going to go to the right side of that point and hit enter twice. I get a decimal. It says -0.385. So I can write that down. Let's see. -0.385. That's one of them. And then I go back to the other one. So now I'm going to hit second and trace again. I'm going to calculate my 0. And I'm going to go to the left side of the other point, which is right there's 1. And I'm going to go to the right side. And then I'm going to hit enter, enter again, because I wanted to guess. So notice here my 0 is 10.385. So my second one is 10.385. So those are my 2 solutions for number 2. Now what I want you to do is to try to do the other problems on that page and see how many solutions you can find. If you need help, go back to this video, hit rewind, and look at the problems again and how to do it in your calculator. If not, that's okay. We'll go over the problems in class. Have a good night.